Hello, hello, hello. Anybody who sees me, can you tell me if you can hear me okay before I start with the presentation? And let me know, where are you from? What part of the country are you from? I'm currently in Mexico, Playa del Carmen, in my digital nomad, my travels and what have you. So look, can you let me know in the comments if you can hear me okay, please? That would be great. Before I'm just looking on here to see if I have yes, great, great. Let's do this then without further ado. Let me know where you're all from. It's good to see where everybody's from, and I'll thank you for joining this lovely masterclass on a Saturday, wherever you are. It's afternoon for me. It could be evening for you if you're definitely in the UK. So let's do this. Let's go with the masterclass. Oh, what have I done here? I need to put this on here. 2 minutes. Me and tech, honestly, tech. I don't know if anybody has this thing with tech also. Whenever I'm doing something from Bunny from USA, love USA. I was there before we had here. Good to see you here, Bunny. Lovely to see you, darling. So today, blessings from Maryland in USA, yeah, North Idaho, India. Love it, Lloyd. Love it. Yes, as I say, I'm in Mexico currently just now. Then we go to Costa Rica. I think in a few weeks, couple of weeks, I'm in Costa Rica. Looking forward to that. And so let's go. Spiritual energetics, embody your power. I create this masterclass because I feel that working with a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs, coaches, healers, light workers, they do all this healing work and nothing, their energetic structure, the change that they're keeping, that they're trying to heal, they don't embody this change, and it's all to do with the energetic structure. So I wanted to do a masterclass that was really, we can look at this for you. So without further ado, let's go and let's thank you for all coming. I'm Anne Varney, as you'll soon find out. So this is all about embodying your power. Yeah, I want to have a wee disclaimer first. It's for spiritual and educational purposes only. It does not replicate medical or psychological advice, and by joining, you accept full responsibility for your own well-being. And it's all about being responsible for who we are and what we do. The big problem and why you maybe need this masterclass is you've mistaken power for perfection. You've waited to feel ready before you step into that power, before you claim your purpose and your mission. But your energetic structure is already whole. It's just clouded by old data. So if this is you guys, let me know in the comments. Does this resonate with you? Let me know, because I'm finding this a lot with a lot of people. That when they're waiting to be perfect before they'll do what they need. And the big problem I see is they're waiting to be perfect. You think you need to heal it all before you can lead. But power comes from presence, not from perfection. Yeah. You got to take that action. You got to show the universe that you're ready, that you really are ready to fulfill your mission, ready to be who you truly were here to be. Yeah. Or you're waiting to feel ready. You don't need confidence to be powerful. You need to stop waiting for permission. You need to step in to who that person is, who you are, or you've forgotten your structure. Your energetic structure is already whole, guys. You don't need to be fixed. Your power is buried under old data, old programming. You're not broken. You're just waiting for that reactivation. Yeah, you don't have to wait. Just allow yourself to see who you really are. Now, this masterclass is for you if you've done so much of the inner work. This used to be me, by the way, but you still feel like something's missing or you're holding back. You're waiting for to feel more confident. You're waiting for more, to be more healed, more ready, yeah? Or you lead others, but secretly you wonder if you're allowed to be powerful. You feel disconnected from your light, like your energy is scattered or you're dimmed, or you can channel for others, but you struggle to embody your own power. Yeah, either one of those. If that resonates with you, you're meant to be here. But what makes us different? Because there's so much noise out there. Yeah, because most spiritual teachings teach you to heal your wounds. This master class shows you how to lead from them. Yeah, unlike other teachings that focus on fixing instead of embodying, or give you tools but not energetic integration, ask you to raise your vibe without anchoring your power. Yeah. Now, spiritual energetics guide you to occupy your power, not just talk about it. Reclaim your energetic structure as it's already there. It's already there, guys. Be who you're meant to be. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I've went back there. I don't know what's happened. Um, I think we're going back to the start here. So let's just think we here. Um, really own that power that's yours. Own that power. So who am I? I'm Anne Varney. I'm a spiritual teacher. Now, me going into that role of spiritual teacher, there was a lot of fear came up. A lot of fear came up for me because I didn't want to. I came from a bridal industry, fashion industry, where it was all, quite egotistical, and for me to step into that spiritual teacher role, even though all the teachings I had went around the world, I learned from real Rinpoches, uh, Native Americans, powerful, authentic healers. I went right to the source to get. Now, did I ever think I would end up a spiritual teacher? No, I certainly did not. However, I completely embrace that role. I completely go into that energetic structure now. I've been an entrepreneur for over 30 years. I'm now a digital nomad, traveling the world, living my dream that I had since I was in my 20s. I sold everything and just decided to travel, experience, go into ancient temples, really leave my spirituality and really inspire not only myself but others too, and do the inner work. And I also am the creator of the Oracle Code, which we'll talk about later, which is a practitioner, which is a really powerful, energetic program, spiritual program, teaches you modalities of hologram healing, medbed healing. We'll talk about that later. And as I say, I've got 30 years of experience of being an entrepreneur, what works and what doesn't. Yeah. And I absolutely love what I do. Love what I do. So my promise to you is you'll walk away with that knowing about that energetic structure of your power. We'll also do a ritual that will transmute rejection, abandonment, fragmentation, not owning who you really are. And there'll be a recalibration into wholeness structure. And a bonus where I'll speak about the Light Codex Attunement, which is a really, really powerful attunement that I was downloaded with, and we'll speak about that more also. And why you need this, Now, what happens is we have energy leaks, which causes our patterns to be unprocessed because we get triggered all the time and we wonder, why are we always getting these triggers when we've done all this work? Well, there's abandonment and self-rejection that's going on. You push others, away because deep down you're already abandoned parts of yourself. You're going into those patterns of that abandonment, that rejection. I've been there. I've done it myself. I've done it so many times. Or we overgive. We were distorted in the feminine. We pour endlessly into others. How many healers? Tell me in the comments. How many healers do this? You just give, 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 and you don't go into that structure of receiving. You find it very hard to receive. But that's a mask. It's a mask for not feeling worthy of receiving. Yeah? Let me know in the comments, is that you? Or there's a withdrawal. The wounded masculine is there. You shut down, especially when there's control, or you retreat when things get too vulnerable. You don't like to be vulnerable. So, and the thing is, the vulnerability is where your strength is. And you're mistaken that that initiation for protection. You're mistaken all that. Is your masculine, your feminine is really unbalanced. Yeah, and we're going to look at that today as also. But what if embodied power is a frequency and not a feeling? You don't have to feel powerful to be powerful. You only have to claim the structure that was always yours. Always yours. It's always there. So why do you need this? Now we have four bodies: the psychological, which is the mental stories and loops that we tell each other. You're stuck trying to understand what you're meant to embody. The mind keeps spinning these narratives. We keep going in this loop that dilutes your knowing. And I need to be more healed, more aligned, more ready. Do these stories sound spiritual, but they're trauma in disguise? Be aware of those thoughts that are coming forward. Or we're going into the emotional body. The emotional body is where the abandonment, the grief, the rejection, that stays. These unmet emotions become internal blocks. The suppression replaces expression, and the heart can't fully open when it's still holding history. Old heartbreak lives in your solar plexus, unprocessed emotions distort your ability to receive and to be seen. And then we go into the energetics, the energetics of the body. The masculine, the feminine is split. Your inner currents are misaligned. You either overdo, which is the masculine, that used to be me, I push, I just was a workaholic, or you overfeel, the feminine, you collapse. So rather than stand in the balanced, when the inner masculine over controls and the feminine shuts down, your power grid shuts out. You don't become the power that you really are. You become either in one or the other. Yeah. And usually, when you're in the masculine, what actually happens is you have this rough exterior, this hard exterior, when inside you're yearning to show that softness, but you're too scared because it doesn't feel safe. If that's you, let me know in the comments. Or the physical, there's that physical density in the body. If your body has pain, that is one of your emotional, physical, psychological, or spiritual, feminine or masculine, is trying to get your attention. If you have physical pain, because the body does keep the score. So the body stores that trauma, of being too much, too intuitive, too emotional. It holds onto weight, fatigue, or pain in the form of safety. The body remembers what the mind tries to bypass, or the spiritual bypassing that I see so many people doing also. And the symptoms are stored energy that needs to be felt, not fixed. It doesn't need to be fixed, guys. You just need to feel it. We're going to do that today, yeah? Because your body tells you, yeah? Your body really does tell you. Or the spiritual, you deepen and you sustain transformation. A lot of people who are in the spiritual arena, spiritual entrepreneurs, they spiritual bypass, yeah? They get confused with their spiritual gifts with spiritual identity, and they bypass it. Your own humanity in the process. You're connected to the vine always, but you struggle. You struggle to show that. You struggle to be in that. You struggle to own your spiritual gifts, your spirituality, your power. Yeah. And your structure is still intact. There's no trauma or failure or pattern has deleted it. It's simply waiting for you to occupy it. Let me know in the comments if this resonates with you. Is any of that resonates with you? Are you living from your pain? Or are you living from your power? Which one are you living from? Yeah? Are you trying to be safe? You're too scared to step in that vulnerability. I know that used to be me, massively, massively used to be me, that I had this hard exterior and still do sometimes. Your 3D world will show you this. We overcompensate, you know. So step one, why you still feel blocked. You're not broken. You're definitely not broken. But why this matters now? The world doesn't need more light workers performing power. It needs leaders who are anchored in it, messy and magnificent in that. If you're still outsourcing your worth, waiting for clarity or hiding your magic, you're blocking the very mission you came here to fulfill. You really are. Your soul's power is not a concept, it's a living frequency. Own it. Yeah. The warts and all, the shadow too. Yeah. And the longer you delay plugging back in, the heavier the disconnect becomes. You can go down the rabbit hole of the healing, of being, I need to heal this, I need to heal that. Yes, but don't get stuck in there. Yeah, don't get stuck in there. See, be aware and be in alignment of what is actually going on for you. Really feel into that. Feel that pain coming out the body. Go into it. See what it actually is telling you, because the body keeps the score. And if you don't, it goes into dis-ease within the body. How many times have we went into dis-ease, me included, when I have an energetic upgrade, you can guarantee there's a spiritual healing crisis comes in, and usually comes out in a flu form. It comes out in those what do you got, those cold sores, the upgrades. Even me, I get these upgrades, and the has to come out in the physical. Those toxins, what it is that's keeping you blocked, has to come out the physical, and you feel it. You really do feel it. So you're not broken, you're just operating on old data. These four distortions keep you disconnected from the power grid of who you are, of who your soul, and you've confused power with perfection. Yeah, how many of you have done that? I know I certainly did. Being a bridal designer, a fashion lecturer, it was all about perfection. It was all about looking good, feeling good. However, I always knew there was just more to life than what I was living. 3 burnouts showed me that, yeah? Because you're waiting to be fully healed before you claim your light. But it's true. It's not true. Yeah, perfectionist for sure. Yeah, Bunny, definitely. It's unbelievable how we stay in the illusion of readiness. This, you think you'll step up when you feel ready, but readiness is a myth. Yeah, you gotta go into who that mission is, and you will feel fear, and you will feel, I'm not ready yet, I'm not ready. I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to heal that first. No, you're here to feel the negative, the positive. It isn't bad or good, it's actually just an experience. And what I've learned is those things that we think are negative are actually meant to be there to help us grow. That's what we're here for, to grow. But some people internalize those old programming as truth. They think that that's true. Those ancestral wounds, those past life wounds, the societal shame and guilt, even by our families, our peers, our friends, they've taught us that our power we don't stand in it. It's vulnerable for us to stand in that power. If we show our true power, we're even afraid of our own power to show us that vulnerability, that light. Isn't it amazing how we hide ourselves from showing this vulnerability? And the thing is that energetic structure is still online. All of you is there, but it's just disconnected. Your soul grid's whole. You've just stepped out of the momentum of it. Yeah. Of those moments of where your light shines, your power is who you really are, and you've stepped into the part. Hello, Sherry, how you doing? Good, you better be here than not here at all, isn't it? Isn't it right? Lovely to see you, though. And ask yourself, let me know in the comments, guys, where have you mistaken self-protection for power? Let me know in the comments. And what part of you is still waiting for that permission to lead? Let me know in the comments. What part of you is still waiting for that permission to lead? Yeah? Where have you mistaken that self-protection for power? Where are you in the physical? Have you got pain in the physical? Where are you in the emotional? Where are you in the energetics? Is your feminine, is your masculine? Is it balanced? Do you know how to balance it? We're going to do that later. Do you feel? I do this as a daily practice. And by God, when I do this as a daily practice, my 3D world shows me, when I've stepped into that inner power, when I've stepped into that light, it shows me. Yeah. Waiting for permission equals pain and insecurity. Isn't that interesting, Bunny? Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Sherry's late to the party. She's saying, I don't know how to get this off. Beautiful, beautiful. Anybody else? Let me know in the comments. Is there any of this? Is there part of you still waiting for permission to lead, to be who you are? Yeah. So, where are we? Where are we? Let me go. Step 2, remember your energetic structure. The power isn't something to earn, guys. It's something you return to. It is already there. It's already there. Yeah? And your energetic power is still waiting, Sherry says. Yeah, totally. Let me just take this off. I think I've still got... there we go. Because your energetic structure has always been intact, always, yeah? And power comes from you occupying from that space in your field, in your energetic field. Your masculine and your feminine are the pillars to that structure. The real you is within that structure. Are you in survival mode? If you're in survival mode, you're coming from the masculine. If you're hiding, you're coming from the masculine, or you may even be coming from the feminine, where you're creating. You're not taking action. Yeah, you don't need to be more healed to anchor in your field. Yeah, you don't need more. Now, when you're remembering your energetic power, your structure is just covered in a wee bit of dust. I like to call it the sparkle dust, yeah? All that self-doubt, the shame, the stories, they don't break your grid, guys. They just blunt your access to it. The blueprint is still there. And I'm going to show you today how to really get that dust away, how to change that, And by the way, people think, oh, a one-time hit, that'll do it, that'll get me there. Yeah, it's not. You have to do that daily practice. And I know that only too well, because when I don't do my daily practice, my 3D world shows me. Yeah, shows me. Always does. Yep. But I've maybe stopped my daily practice for a few days, I'm traveling, have a lot going on. And maybe when I've stopped it, I realize, oh, I've got to do that. I've got to do that integration. I've got to connect to my energetic structure. So you have to keep doing this. It's not a one-hit wonder. You know, your power, occupy the space in what your field is. You know, you've been standing outside of yourself, waiting to for somebody to come and save you. You've been watching, you've been analysing, you've been waiting, you know. It's about re-entering your energetic structure, guys. It's coming in every corner of who you are, because we're definitely going to do that today. And what about when you're in the feminine and the masculine? Those pillars of feminine, masculine. One holds, one flows, one moves forward, one receives. But when they're out of balance, you give, overgive. You don't know how to receive, or you're just continually taking action with nothing happening for you, which leads to burnout. I know that better than anybody because I've been there many times. Or what about when you anchor? You don't need, yeah, you don't need more healing. Yes, sometimes there's a past life karmic lesson to be learned. Sometimes, but the thing is, what most people do is they'll go down that rabbit hole and they'll try and find what it is, the why, the what, the where, the when. If you are doing this, you'll stay stuck there. You will stay stuck there. Because trust me on this, what actually happens is when we have our focus of going and looking for our healings, what actually happens is our focus, because we're looking at the negative narrative of what we are, we stay in that negative narrative. If we have a focus of what it is that we truly want, what it is what we want to accomplish, you know, I've actually in our Facebook group, we've had a manifestation that people are getting great results because they're changing the focus. They're doing the daily practice, they're balancing the feminine and the masculine, and then they're doing the manifestations of what it is they want to do on. And what's happening is the universe gives you lots of freebies. Yeah. A lot of things that you never asked for because your focus is in the positive. It's looking for what it is that you want. That is how you change. One of the things, anyway, you change that energetic structure. Where is your focus? You don't need more healed. You just need to say yes to presence and bring your energy back into your body. How many people feel disconnected? How many people, you know, it doesn't matter what they do, but they're just not seeing the results that they want because they're not taking that aligned action. They're not balanced in that feminine and masculine. And we certainly do this and look and connect to the real me in the Oracle code, you know, and really see what our structure, our energetic grid is, you know. So you don't need more healed. Let me see what Sherry's saying. Even though I'm still moving forward, just got my crystals in a shop. By the way, Sherry, that is huge for you because I know the journey you've had. And as you say, that's huge. I'm proud, but no, the doubt still creeps in. Yes, but you gotta still keep going. Yeah, you gotta still keep going. Philip says they're both out of balance. Yeah, we're gonna see about that today, Phil. And Bunny says, yes, that's me. Create. And Sherry's saying, what makes me feel so special. Yeah, you're doing amazing, Sherry. I'm absolutely so proud of what I'm seeing you do. Absolutely so proud because I know the fear it takes to be and own our gifts. And what I'm going to say, guys, now I'm in Mexico and I've been to the seven wonders, you know, Chichen Itza. And by the way, the energy there was spectacular. And I've done quite a few seven wonders of the world now, Machu Picchu, you know, I've been to lots of spiritual temples and what have you. And what I realize is when we are in this energy, in this main energy, now, isn't it interesting? When I went to this temple, as I walked up, my partner says to me, Dave says to me, I hope you're ready for this. And he's actually more spiritual than he lets us sell on for. You know, just so spiritual. And actually, I realized as I was walking into that temple was when I first started on my spiritual journey, I actually used to come to this temple. Now, was that me standing in my energetic structure? You're too right, it was. It was me remembering who I actually was, what I was. I was a soul with real power. Yeah. And this was the temple. I'd never even heard of the temple. I didn't even know what this temple was. And I used to go and I used to see myself in meditation walking up the stairs to this temple, and it blew me away. And see the energy at this temple. It completely opened me up. Yeah. As you'll hear about other temples. So remember, you don't need more healing. Yeah. You just need to be in the structure so that you can remember your own energetic power. Yeah. Step 3, let's reclaim your power field. You know, power is not outside you, guys. It lives in your cells. It's time to come home to you. It's time to own it. It's time to be vulnerable with it. Yeah. So let's feel the disconnection. So what I want you to do is I just want you to, if you're on the phone, or don't do this if you're driving or you're operating machinery, please. I just want you to just connect to you. We're going to call back. We're going to feel the disconnection so you're not bypassing the wound. We're going to feel it. We're going to name it. And then we're going to reintegrate the parts that's got left behind. So what I want you to do is I want you to just connect yourself to the spiritual cord. And the spiritual cord is above the head at the crown. And I just want you to feel that vibrational field. Every single person has this spiritual cord. I want you to just activate, if you've never experienced that spiritual cord, because your intention is everything. I just want you to activate that spiritual cord. Beautiful. And I want you just to drop down into your heart space and just open your heart. Just feel yourself. And what I want you to do now is I want you to actually go down into the sacral, into the stomach area, your power area, your receivership, where you are a receiver, where you stand in your power. I want you to feel, and I want you to call back all the power. I want you to be in your body, fully in your body. I want you to remember who you really are. And if you felt disconnected, I'm saying for you to set the intention to bring the whole of you 100% back home. Bring her or he back home. Because we don't want to bypass ourselves anymore, or any wounds we have. I want you to accept every single part of you. And I want you to feel that energy of coming home, being fully in your container. That's what you're here for. I want you to feel your energy, feel it pulsating. Now, when I say that, I can feel it coming out my hands, I can feel it on the top of the head, I can feel it all around my body. Feel your energy, guys. Feel your power. Call back all your energy. And if you have taken anybody's energy, knowingly or unknowingly, give them it back. Because as empaths, we do this. And me being an empath, I've done it all my life, not even realizing I was doing it. And then thinking it was my own crap, my own shit. Wasn't. Let it go. Let it go. Beautiful. Beautiful. And call back your energy 100%. Feel it in the sacral. Feel it everywhere in your energy field. Reclaim your power field. You are a living source, a living energy between source and your light and the earth. But what happens is trauma, fear, shame, guilt, it collapses the channel. And what I want you to do is I want you to connect to the right side of your body, the full right side of your body. And this is where your masculine resides. How does that masculine side of you feel? Is there any pain there? Is there heaviness? Is there lightness? Is there power? Let me know in the comments. What do you feel in your masculine? Is he overdoing, overworking? Is she overworking? And then I want you to connect, feel the difference. Don't be attached to it, but just looking at it. I want you to then feel the left side, which is the feminine. How does she feel? Does she feel light, all sparkly? Or is she trying to tap you on the shoulder and giving you pain in the body because you're not allowing, you're not listening, you're not being? Really feel it, guys. Feel each of those feminine and masculine. What are they trying to tell you? And just listen. Just listen. And breathe into it. If you feel pain in the body, breathe into it. Because this is not bypassing. You're not spiritually bypassing here. You're going into it. You're being. You're feeling. And this is connection. This is connection to the body. Yeah? Sherry says the masculine feels much heavier than the feminine. Yeah, most people, I know mine, when I've certainly connect to it, it was definitely a lot heavier. And what you'll find if you are, and Sherry saying, we're not here to learn, we're here to remember, right? Yeah, totally. Totally, Sherry. And the thing is, when you find you're in the masculine, you see this a lot in the healers, is when we're working from the masculine, we have this tough exterior because we've learned that it's not safe to show our vulnerability. And that goes for female or male. It's not safe. It's not safe out there. We'll be harmed. So we fear that vulnerability. We fear people seeing the real us. And this is where the fear comes in. But actually, fear, there's a fine line between fear and excitement. Fine line. Which one do you want to live on? The fear or the excitement? I know I certainly want to live on the excitement and flip it. And it is as easy as saying and setting the intention. And just really connect to that. And I remember when I was going in the Grand Canyon, and I was going in a helicopter. And the last time I'd been in a helicopter was I was in a 7.8 earthquake in Nepal in 2015, and 7,000 people, over 7,000 people died. And that was the last time I was in a helicopter. So I know, being trained in hypnotherapy, that transference can happen in a lot of things. And this is the first time me going in a helicopter, and boy, did fear come up for me massively. And I remember standing, as soon as that helicopter tried to get off, it was coming off the ground, it was very windy, it just put me right back to Nepal. And that fear came in like, oh my God. And this is what I did. I connected to the fear, and I went, I choose excitement. I'm not choosing fear today. I choose excitement. And it flipped. It flipped like that. And it was exciting. Was exciting, guys. That's how quick we can do it, though. I was in my power. I decided I wanted to be in my power. I was in my energetic structure. Philip says the masculine was light and the feminine felt like a heartbeat below my heartbeat. Yeah, beautiful, Philip. Beautiful. And by the way, guys, there's no right and there's no wrong here. Yeah? There's no right and wrong here. So we are going to activate that feminine and that masculine. And what we're going to do is we're going to breathe and bring them together. We're going to, merge them. And what I do here, and I do this as a daily practice, I actually have the feminine and the masculine and have them talking to each other. What do each one need from the other? What does each one need from the other? In order for us to be in our energetic structure, in order for us to be the real me, what do we need? Get the masculine and the feminine talking to one another. Because this is power. This is where your power resides. Yeah? Breathe into it. And as you get that feminine and masculine talking to each other, I want you to merge them so they become one. And as you merge them, I want you to see your energy expand, your structure, your power. I want you to see that power lighten up. I want you to see your truth. I want you to see who you really are. You're not fixing, you're not being attached. You're just allowing whatever's coming up. And breathe, nice big deep breaths in. Because sometimes when we integrate, when we finally listen to who we really are and step into that power, it can blind us. It can really, I know it certainly did with me. Don't fear your power. Be excited by your power. Accept that power. Really accept the power that's within you, the tenderness that's within you. Be clear. And what I always do here is I connect to my spiritual cord. Whilst the feminine, the masculines is merging. And I connect to the spiritual cord and I just set the intention that I'm being in my full energetic structure. Now, if you're still holding on to grief, sadness, just allow it. Just allow. Because you're meant to feel it. This is you reclaiming who you really are, the ideal you, the you that's always been here. Reclaim that power field, guys. Reclaim it. Step into it. Feel it. And remember, nice big deep breaths in as that integrates, as you accept that power, that you. And remember, let me know in the comments, how do you feel now? Because you're not here to fix yourself, guys. You're here to ignite others by being fully you. And when you fully step into your power and remember who you came here to be, boy, does the universe move for you. Does your manifestations go to a different level? Do you become in full service to the self and to others? You're excited by who you really are. You don't fear it. You don't fear your light, your success. Let me know in the comments, guys. How did you feel from that? Yeah, because that's who we really are. We are love. We're unconditional love. You got it. Empowered through love, Cherry. Brilliant. Absolutely amazing. Let me know how anybody else. Where did you get? Let me know. And this is why I created the Oracle Code. And did I have fear coming up for the Oracle Code? You bloody better believe I had fear because it was so powerful of what I was being downloaded with. And when I went to Trump, and a lot of you have probably heard this, and I'll keep banging on about it because it was so powerful. I'd actually been to the Lara Croft Temple in Cambodia, and and people say you've got to be, you've got to be fully aligned, you've got to be really in your energy, you've got to have high energy to be connected. Bullshit. I was actually I fell out with my partner. We'd had a wee set to, just of being disempowered. And I always, when I used to go to the temples, I always like to sit outside the temples and I feel the temples. I feel the ancient. And I've had some beautiful, beautiful downloads doing this. Well, everybody just does. And I remember this is the second time I'd been to the temple in a week. It was a few days I'd been there before, and I just knew I had to go back for something. And we went back, and I just felt this energy, and I could see this haze of light to the side of me, and I connected to it, and it was the gatekeeper of the temple. Now, this, trust me, I'm a no BS kind of spiritual. I've got to be proven what's there. I've always been like that, because I've got a scientific background in psychology. I've got a master's in psychology, so I have that scientific mind as well. So I really want proof. I want proof with my spirituality. And by God, if I had lots of proof in my spirituality, that's why I have 100% belief in the spiritual field and what the potential of who we are. And it actually helped me remember who I actually was. And I actually connected with this gatekeeper who was 9th century, had been there since that temple had opened. And this energy was so powerful. It was so powerful. And I asked him why he was still there. Why was this energy still here? And he said, I'm a protector of the secrets. And that's maybe me. I'm very curious. I have a lot of questions. Well, can I get the secrets that I'm connected to you? And I was met with no, nobody can get these secrets because it can kill humanity, but it can also heal humanity. And I was like, oh, blown away. And I just took it for what it was, and I asked lots of questions as I do. Some I got answers to, some I didn't. And we went round the temple, we went a different way. Now, this temple had over 1 million people visiting this temple in a year. We were in March. There was 300,000 people, over 300,000 people. So you get the idea of how busy it was. And we went round the side of this temple, and there's trees all. I don't know if anybody have ever been to Cambodian temples. The trees are actually in the rocks, the buildings and what have you. It's beautiful. The energy is absolutely amazing. And we're coming round this, there's nobody there, which is bizarre in itself that nobody's, as we're coming around this huge side bit. And there's this one tree sitting on itself, and the leaves are falling off the tree. And the thing is, I'm looking at the other trees, and there's no leaves falling off the other trees. It's just this one tree. And as soon as I say to Dave, "Do you see that tree?" He went, and he says, "My whole energy is went mental." And I went, "Yes, so have I." The leaves stopped falling. There was no wind, by the way. There was no wind. It was mental. And I knew that I was near those secrets. I could feel it. My energy started vibrating. There was something happening within my energy field. So I just sat there and I meditated. The next thing, I was downloaded with all this energy, and I could feel the gatekeeper at the side of me saying to me, and I said to him, "Is that where the secrets are?" "Yeah, on the other side of that wall." And the energy that I felt here was like nothing I've ever felt before. It really did help me remember and open that veil of my perceptions, my identity, my behaviors, all that we're taught. And I really seen the power of who I really was. And I was then, this is how the Oracle Code came to light. It was downloaded to me by this gatekeeper, by these secrets. And it's not about being a practitioner, guys. It's about becoming who you actually are. That's what the Oracle is all about. So you can help others remember who they are. Yeah. And this is why I created this. And you carry the light codes that aren't just for you. They're for you to help others to see their light codes, for them to stand in their power. And we use the four light bodies, the psychological, the physical, the emotional, the spiritual. And if you need to be empowered and feel, and we teach you how to use these light bodies, how to heal each of these light bodies so you can help others heal that too, and what those limitations are in those light bodies. We also go to the med beds. The med beds are, it's a beautiful, beautiful feeling of being called home, being home. But these hologram healings, we reconnect to the core frequency, your energetic truth. You map out and clear the hidden blocks in the energetic field using the holograms, connecting to your oracle, to your spirit team. You'll come into deep energetic alignment. Because this is what the first pillar is all about. It's all about aligning, reconnecting to your core frequency, your energetic truth. And the spirit team show you how to help others to reconnect to that too, how to reestablish the central column that plugs you back into the source and the earth, and how to become into alignment, how to help others to be in that alignment, how to help others to be in those gifts to flow. Yeah, because really, all I'm doing is helping you remember, just like the gatekeeper helped me to remember. And then we go into the med beds, where the pillar 2 is about awareness. And this pillar, and by the way, you work with the other practitioners so you can hone your skill. This is lifetime, guys. Once you're in here, you're here lifetime. Yeah. Um, and that awareness opens you to the higher perception. You anchor the wisdom, your remembrance from the dimensions beyond the veil. This is a grounding structural grid work that we work with. The pillar awakens this multidimensional awareness across timelines, past lives, ancestral patterns, soul contracts, and we work with the other dimensional beings who will help not only yourself, but you are helping others. You're helping others to recalibrate. You begin reading energy, like the energy fields of your own, of other people, the unconscious, the conscious. We also work with the med beds. We work with not just the human form, but we also work with the animal form. If that's your bag, working with the pets, working with the earth. There's two cohorts we have here: the self, or you work with the self, the animals, and the earth. And it's a beautiful, beautiful energy that we've been told that the med beds, you've got to, they're trying to build these med beds. No, the med beds are inside you. They're inside you. They're your power. Yeah, they're part of that power, of that energetic structure that's you. And with the med beds, we have this quantum healing. You get those quantum healing tools, and you decide, you'll decode the unseen, and you'll work directly with the root of dysfunction. Yeah, and that awareness dissolves confusion and returns you to clarity. It really powerfully helps you to work with those other dimensional beings. It's very spiritual in nature. And the third round, we have purification because we have 4 pillars in total. First pillar, awareness. Second pillar, alignment. Sorry, first pillar, alignment. Second pillar, awareness. Third pillar is purification. And this is where you release what's not yours. You reclaim what's always was yours, your light, your truth, your power. You know, you unify, the DNA recalibration is you connect to the 24 strands of your DNA, your divine blueprint of the soul. And you help to clear the trauma, the energetic debris, everything that is part of you. Yeah, that's bringing that part of you that is the density in the cellular, that dust that's not allowing you to be in your energetic structure. You dissolve any addictions, to fixing and step, because a lot of healers are addicted to fixing. Step into the energy of freedom, forgiveness, and flow. Yeah. Because as your field purifies and becomes clean, the channel, it really, your channel, you become the hollow bone. You really do become, you breathe clarity. Your light becomes so pure, so powerful. Yeah. And we also, and as I say, you carry the lights. The fourth pillar is all about creation, where you anchor your soul's mission into the material world. We have and if you're on here, if any of you are on here who are doing the Oracle Code just now, who's becoming practitioners or are already certified in practitioners, let me know in the comments. Tell them, the ones that are going through it, they're in purification round just now, and they're not even there in the creation round yet. And boy, are they getting some beautiful openings, that power that's coming in. Those healings that are happening, it really warms my heart, because all I'm doing is helping them remember. And this is what I want to do with you, is help you remember your full power, not my power, your power, and what you're here to do, to help others see their light codes. And the creation round, it brings everything into form. What you're here to do, what your energetic signature is, and how to learn to manifest the right way. Your frequency, not through hustle, but through alignment and building that structure. Something just popped there. It's about your spiritual leadership. It's about how you can make an impact, not as a concept, but as a legacy. That's why we've got lifetime access to this. So you can really embed this really into your energetic structure and come from a place of pure remembrance, where you're not responsible for everybody's healing. You're showing them their power. You're helping them stand in that power, stand in those light codes. You just live from your purpose. You become the mirror. Your 3D world starts to show you that mirror. Yeah. And the value you receive from the Oracle code is there's advanced mastery healing tools. The hologram healing. You open up the evolution chakra. Not a lot of people know about the evolution chakra. It's powerful. You open up that, it's a manifestation. It really gets into your power, your energetic structure. You also are connected to the other dimensional beings, the galactic councils. We show you the safe way to do this. How to connect to your spirit team, how to connect to everything that's all there. All you're doing is remembering who you are. You're also getting business mentorship and marketing. We do this every 2 weeks, strategic mentorship, what it is that people need. Yeah, I've got 30 years of experience of being a mentorship, online and face-to-face as a bridal designer. It's also it's accredited. It's the international practitioners holistic medicine accreditation, powerful global meditation. You get a real certificate, not a made up certificate. It has lifetime access to it, that you are from a practitioner level. And there's ongoing support. As I say, it's lifetime. You have ongoing support, community. There's a global network. You have practical integration and feedback where you work even one-on-one with me. We also have for people who come on early, is the Light Codex Attunement, also people that pay in full. This is an early bonus, which that Light Codex Attunement is clearing your energy field of that dust. It's clearing you up, that dust. 11-day attunement that starts before we start the new cohort of the Oracle Code on the 27th of May. That's when we go live. And we are bringing in the people who are meant to be on there. If you feel a soul pull, guys, I need to be on there. That's your soul. If you're on this call, if you see this live, your spirit team have brought you here. It's just the way it works. Yeah, it's the way I work. I call in is the way I work as well. You'll also get, and this is for everybody, you'll get inner alchemy teachings, how to rewire your field. You'll lead from the highest frequency. You'll receive quantum teachings, your personality types, what's happening with all the personality types, the core belief systems, those body-based energy and quantum jumping, what to do. You also get those business calls, with fortnightly business calls where I tune in or you tell me what it is that you need. We've just done a business call of how to sell your meditations from start to finish in the digital field. Yeah. And you also get invitation to my spiritual retreats. Now, this is not a profit. The spiritual retreat, people pay what I have been charged. What we do is my purpose mission is helping the Cambodian humanity, the kids of us, two schools where I have the pleasure of being in, where I help the European fund manager for this school, these two schools, and we help them. We want to help them to build a new school for the older kids who really everything. 10% of everything goes here, plus a lot of other things we monetarily give. My main goal is to help build them a school, and you're helping with that too when you come onto this. And for early sign-ups, you get the Light Codex Attunement from the Galactic Council and your Starseed family, which was downloaded straight from my spirit team, for that Light Codex. And it's Egyptian energy we're using here. The Egyptian energy is really, really powerful. This is ancient energy that we are coming from. Yeah. And you get a one-on-one oracle. For people who pay in full, you get a one-on-one oracle session with me. This is a few $1,000s that you're getting, and we usually use that in the creation, where we get real clarity, and there's a lot, you get a lot from that session of what it is that you're here to do. Because I connect not only to you, I connect to your field, I connect to your spirit team, and my spirit team connect to you too. And that's how we get what are you here to do? Yeah. You also get the Light Codex Attunement. As I say, it's 11-day energetic preparation to activate your light code so you can activate others. It aligns you with the Oracle Wheel before the live program starts. We also have spiritual, personal spiritual messages, where it's spiritual guidance comes straight from my spirit team, and I connect to your spirit team. And honestly, what comes through here at times even blows my mind. Sometimes I think, how am I going to say that? Because it doesn't make sense to me, but it definitely makes sense to you. It's powerful. And it's not just a certification, guys. It is your return to the frequency you're always meant to lead from. Always meant to lead from. Yeah. All I'm doing is helping you remember. And the full The initiation begins, as I say, 27th of May. There's an early bird. You get the what I've just mentioned, and you can pay in full. 3,333. A pillar is 1,111. So you get a pillar. You're only really paying for 3 pillars as opposed to 4. Or you can have the 24-month plan, which is 444, or the 11. Oh, sorry, that should be the other way around. I've totally mugged that up, me and my tech. The 24 plan should be 222, and the 11-month plan should be 444. I'm going to put the code, and we're doing it differently this time. Usually, we take calls for people who feel that soul pull to see if they're right. But this time, what I find, and what the spirit team are telling me also, is we are there's a lot of lurkers who don't feel that they don't like to be seen, or they don't feel that power to be in there, but they feel that soul pull. If that's one of you guys, you definitely are meant to be there. Yeah. And I'm going to put this link in here for you, so that you can go and see for yourself, and you can sign up without actually booking a call. However, if you want to know more about this, please do book a call. You can go on my website, you can do it via that way. If you want to hear more details about it, just contact me. You can do this through put hashtag replay or hashtag, not replay, hashtag oracle, or hashtag talk on if you're watching this on replay, or if you've got this through email, just send me a reply. Yeah, if you've got questions. If you feel a soul pull, guys, your spirit team have led you here. There's limitless places. Once those places have gone, for the live cohort, really take the plunge. Take the plunge. Do it. Because this is just at the beginning, this cycle. And the way that I want this to work is I want this to be that these spiritual entrepreneurs who are on here, the healers, the coaches, they've had a raw deal of, not charging their worth, not being who they really are. And my thing is I want yous to really feel and feel who you are, remember who you are first and foremost, but also be paid, and be paid well for that too. That is my aim, and the way this is working, hopefully you will get that too. Yeah, the program's 16 weeks. As I say, 27th of May it starts. 15th of May is when the Light Codex Attunement starts, 11 days prior. I'm doing a challenge, a spiritual energetic alignment challenge for 3 days that starts on the 12th of May. Please let me know if you would like that challenge. Here is I think this is the link for the challenge. Come and play with us. Come and really be fully in your power. It's from the 11th to the 14th, the 15th, can't remember actually. 3 days anyway, where we go deep in spiritual connection and what have you. What's included? Do I get ongoing support? Yes, you do. As I say, it's lifetime. Do I need prior experience in healing to join? No, you don't. As long as you have a deep connection. It is an advanced program, spiritual program, guys, because we're using advanced spiritual techniques. Can I choose which oracle wheel I join, self or animal and earth? Yes, of course you can. You can choose. Do you want to help the animals and the earth and the self and the human, or do you just particularly want to help with clients? Yeah, because we have 2 cohorts that we'll be going through. Is the Light Codex Attunement included for everyone, or only early signups? Early signups and people who pay in full. The business mentorship that's included, I tune into the field to see what actually is needed. Because what I find with healers, spiritual entrepreneurs, is they're coming out of seeing face-to-face, or they don't know the actual successful processes they need to put in place in order for them to be in a successful business. I've got 30 odd years experience, guys, that I can show you how to do it. The quick way, the easy way, the aligned way. Some people come on here that haven't even got a business. That's okay too. Yeah. Because if you're feeling that soul pull, maybe it's just for the self. Maybe it's just for you. And what if you miss a session? Everything is recorded and all recordings are available. I try and get them up as quick as I can. Yes, there's payment plans. As you see, we've actually went down to a low payment plan of 2, and these are all in dollars, USA dollars, USD. What happens after the program ends? This is what actually happens. Because this is a lifetime, we have 4 grounding pillars: the east, the south, the west, and the north. You are invited to become a grounding pillar so you can help the new people coming in for their light codes, to help them to, embody their light codes. You go deeper into the program. This is why it's lifetime. You don't pay for that. You don't pay for that at all. You only pay once. You don't pay again. How do I know if I'm ready for this level of energetic responsibility? If you feel that soul pull, I need to do this. This is what my soul's yearning. That is enough. Yeah, that's enough. Will I have the confidence to hold space for others like this? You will. If you don't have it yet, you will get that confidence because of the way that we work it and the way you work with the other practitioners. What if I'm still healing myself? Can I still guide others? Of course you can. Us in the healing environment, it's lifetime, because there's always something we need to disconnect, to realign to. So always be aware of that. You are going on to another level when you go into this program, because that level is you are showing others, you're leading by example, you're helping them remember. Yeah. Will this help me understand my own gifts more clearly? Your gifts will expand, your intuition will expand, your energy work, if you've already got energy work, Reiki, or any other Sikhem, pranic healing, whatever it is, crystal healing, your gifts will expand because of the work and the level that we go to. They'll just become more powerful. Yeah. You'll see things more clearly. Yeah. And I can't see that other one, what that other question is. I can't see it. But if anybody can put that in, what the other question is, I'll answer it. And before we do that, what is what Philip say? I feel absolutely bubbly, and if you truly knew the kind of day I've had before this webinar, you would just be as shocked as I am that this is happening. Yes, because you have went in to your own energetic structure, and that's only a tiny bit, Philip, of what this program does. Tiny bit, by the way. Absolute tiny bit. So if you feel that soul pull, guys, if you feel that way, your heart expansion, as Philip says, it feels absolutely bubbly. Yeah. And it shocked him because of what his day is like. Get on this program. I can't say enough of how much it changes people, how much it changes the trajectory of the level that you're at just now. Yeah. So what is the takeaways from this powerful, and I hope it's been powerful for you, this masterclass? You don't need to be fully healed to be fully powerful. Your energetic structure is already whole. You just needed to remember how to step back into it. Your power is a frequency, not a feeling. Yes, you can feel it, but it's a frequency, guys. You can be uncertain and still be aligned. You can feel fear and still be aligned. You can feel messy and still lead. Power lives in presence, not perfection. The feminine and the masculine energy must work together to hold your mission. And when you unify your inner currents, you stop leaking energy and you start radiating embodied clarity. You start attuning to who you really are. You were never meant to just hold the light. You're here to activate it in others. This work isn't about you. It's about the legacy you're here to build, to be fully who you are. I'm Varney. And it's been an absolute pleasure for the people who have stayed, really till the end. I really want to honour you and I want to thank you for doing that. Let me know in the comments, have you got something from this beautiful masterclass? That really, I felt empowered as I was really making this masterclass. I really was. What to do now? Book. Get your early bird, guys. The Light Codex Attunement. And again, I've put the link in there. Go to theoraclecode.com. You'll see it there if you've missed the link. And remember, it's really, you are already in your energetic structure. Power is already there. It's not outside you. It's in you. You just need to remember, clear the dust, be who you are. I'm Anne Varney, spiritual teacher, author, and it's been my pleasure to serve you. And I hope I can serve you more when you come into the Oracle Code. I would love for you to come and be one of those practitioners, one of those soul leaders who's helping others with their light codes, helping them to be and remember who they really are. Thank you, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.